Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my 50 amazing subscribers. We're getting ready to go deeper in the Krakens Lair for a discussion about the original Ghost Rider. So I feel like maybe I should make the lights more creepy as we go deeper and deeper in the lair to discuss the Ghost Rider. So everybody just stay with me. I've got some comic books to show you. Okay, everybody, we're back in the Kraken's Lair, deep in the Kraken's Lair to discuss the original Ghost Rider, not the motorcycle flaming skull guy that we all know and love. While I'm talking, I just thought I would show you a comic book. Now, a little bit of background. When I was like either 13 or 14, so somewhere 1980, somewhere between 82 and 84. For my birthday, my dad brought me and my good friend, Chance Bartels, he'll probably chime in on this video under Nostalgic Pod Blast, and I had like a budget of, $100. And we just went flipping through long box after long box. Now, at like 13, I wasn't as savvy. I'm sure I missed out on some like key stuff because at that point, I was just buying comic books I loved. I wasn't like, oh, this is a key issue. This is going to appreciate. This is going to have some value. And I stumbled on this series of this Western Ghost Rider. There was only 7 issues in the run. The only one that was missing was number 6, which I picked up later. My Western Ghost Rider number 1 is actually off to PGX as we speak. And I showed these once and I was like, yeah, I'll probably never have a reason to show these again. Well, I'm showing them again. So this was number 2. And I think one of the things that appealed to me at the time was the 12 cent. I mean, even at 14, comic books at that point, I had seen them go from like 20 cents to 25 cents to 30 cents to 35 cents. So I knew these were older, and I love monsters. I love spooky stuff. And they had, like I said, almost the whole run. And the books in the long boxes range from like 25 cents a piece to like $2 a piece. And so I was like, yes, I'm getting these. I'll show this upside down for a second, just so you can see the original sticker of 87 cents that I paid for this. Then men shall call him Stingray. There's some damage on some of these issues, nothing to get excited about. I don't know how many hands these books passed through before they ended up at the Book Nook, the Book Swap. But once again, I bought these somewhere between 1982 and 1984. And they've been in my collection ever since then. So they've not sustained any significant damage beyond how they were originally when I bought them. Thankfully, the Ghost Rider number 1 is one of those that's like in the better condition. I don't know if I would ever have these graded. Maybe I'll do it just to keep them safe. Here's number 5. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty nice. Oh, I mean, I know, glare on the bag and stuff. There's a couple spine ticks. There's nothing missing out. There's a little, well, I say that. There's a little chunk missing out there. A little chunk missing out there. I suppose probably because of like the Indiana Jones movies, I started like digging on like guys with like bull whips. Like I thought that was like really cool. Once again, this is the number 6 that was missing. So I picked this up a couple years later. And, it's got some date stamps on it. I've discussed that stuff doesn't really bother me. Other than that, couple creases, nothing to get excited about. It's pretty nice. none of these are very valuable unless they're in really, I'd say at least above like a 7. Um, the fact I spent $1 or less, $2 or less on these books, if I would spend the money to have them graded, I'm sure I'd come out okay. But this is such like a niche collection. There's not many people like Western Ghost Rider #7. I gotta have it, man. It's appreciating off the map. And it's so funny now, like pulling these out of my collection, like to where like they look so pristine to me. And now, as an older collector, I'm like, up, color breaking crease, chunk missing out, crease, ding, 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 ding. When I was a kid, like I love these. I was like, wow, man, it's like this crazy Western Ghost Rider character that I don't even know about, and I have loved owning these books, each and every one of them, just to have them. Now, I recently found on eBay, there's a seller. I'll say it and I'll sort of spell it out. It's The Three Auctioneers. So it's all one go. It's small letters like THE, THREE, AUC, TIONEERS. The Three Auctioneers. And I found this guy, and it seems like we're like some of the rights to these books from much, much earlier. It's now like public domain. And so basically what he's doing is he's doing facsimile comic books. I mean, start to finish, cover to cover, all the pages, it's facsimile. But prior to Marvel acquiring the rights for this, it was like Atlas Comics. It was much, much earlier. And one, the original books just don't pop up much. Two, even in poor condition, they're expensive. Three, in any kind of like decent collectible condition that I would want to collect, like really, really expensive. So I found this guy, and he's got this run of all, I don't know if all, but I keep looking, and it's like, is this like going up, like issue 13, 14, grab. And I'm like, I want to collect them all. So I bought 2 from this guy, and then I actually made him he made me a bundle deal. I was like, hey man, like issue 1 through 5, would you accept? I was like, I got $50 to spend, and that includes shipping. So it's like, yeah, cool. Like, $46 for the 5 of them, $4 shipping for the 5 of them, cool. Let's do this. So I bought these. Once again, reprints, not original. Dick Ayers cover. Numero uno. I really like this. Death Stagecoach. Rawr. And I liked how they did the Stagecoach and like the Grim Reaper guy all in red. And you've got the Ghost Rider all in white with a blue background. Very dynamic. Now, this really caught my eye. This is a Frank Frazetta cover. The Ghost Rider #3. I mean, just this, this dude exploding this bomb. I don't know if it's like on the train. I've not actually had the chance to flip through this. But just everything about this, the flames and the reds and the explosion and the black smoke with the red. And once again, the white of the Ghost Rider and his horse and stuff. It's like, I was like, man, this cover is amazing. Ghost Rider #4. This is number 5. It almost reminds me of like Batman covers and stuff, like where he's like swooping in, he's saving the damsel in distress. You know, I mean, obviously they've done it in a Western motif, so she's like the ball, not the ballroom, the sort of saloon girl or whatever in distress. This guy's like, I'm gonna take you out, Ghost Rider, blam, but I missed you because you're swinging by this rope. Um, I showed this the other day because it arrived. Um, this is number 8. So I'm missing 6 and 7 at this point. Just to show you guys, just give me a second to get this out of the bag and board safely. When I say that these are facsimiles, all right, just so you can see when I'm like, okay, it is done in comic book format. Like the pages are actually stapled. It has all the original ads. It seems like my understanding is that they took these from like microfiche or some other format. So there's some like that's not a rip in the page. It's from the page that they scanned. So I mean, just the history, and like it's got the entire stories. It's got all the artwork. Just things that you would not see unless you had a whole lot of money to throw in. Like, yeah, see, original ads. And I kind of like it how like it is like a dedicated scan. So even like where there's ink spray or whatever, I mean it sort of gives it that old time feel. And like I said, I mean, this just to show you one. And I'm not flipping every page. But like I said, I mean, it's stapled just like a comic book. The back, the front cover, all the interior pages. As I referenced, the guy made me a bundle deal. Like I got like 5 of them for $50, and of course they're not original. They have no value other than the value it has to me as a lover of comic books. Where if I looked for the original of this, it would be very hard to find. If I found it, it would be probably really, really chewed up because most people weren't collecting these. So it wasn't like, oh, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. These things just got forgotten about. If I found one in like a condition that I would actually be brave enough to flip through it and read it, each one of these books would cost me close to $1,000, just as a guess. So once again, the 3 auctioneers, they're doing these replica issues that are very affordable. So if you really enjoy that sort of comic book art from the bygone days, before there was Marvel and DC, and if you can't afford the originals, this is a really fun option. And at this point, I will reference a lot of times, like, people like, oh, speculators, you're ruining the hobby for the rest of us. But it's like, clearly, if you love comics, and I'm sure somewhere out there, there's probably a trade paperback that like has all these bound and, whatever, you spend, $56 and you would have, Western Ghost Rider 1 through whatever. I kind of like the comic book format. Like I really almost like I want to display these because like they're just so cool. They're so fun. Um, People that make money off of comic books, speculators, we're not ruining the hobby. You know, if you want to own key issues, mega key issues, early comic books, there's all kinds of ways that you can physically own this. Like I physically own this. Like I said, there's probably like trade paperbacks or whatever that might have like a collection of this. Certainly, you can go online and look at the art and read the stories. So to fault, collectors of expensive comic books, especially if they own multiple copies, it seems like there's always this like public outcry, like, how dare you? How dare you have 8 copies of Hulk 181? You're ruining the hobby for the rest of us. Well, no, we're not. Um, Save your pennies, and you too could possibly own key issues that you want in your collection. But if you just want to read them, if you really love comics, and you want to read the stories and look at the artwork, and you want to have a physical copy, there's a way to do it. I mean, even these. I mean, I bought these, like I said, back in the day. Now, granted, I doubt you can find these for like less than $2 a piece in decent condition currently. But as I said, they're not highly collectible. So it's not breaking the bank. If you really like, and when, like these are reprints, these are Marvel reprints after they own the property. But if you really like Sinister Stalker versus a 6-gun Spectre and the cunningly crafty Cougar's Circus of Fear, if you really want to own this, I'm telling you, like, you jump on eBay, I'm sure you can find a very decent copy of most of these books. I'll say definitely for under $30. You know, I have a nostalgia because, like, there I was in middle school on my birthday with my $100 budget, searching through long boxes, and I found Western Ghost Rider. And I'm so glad that I kept them to this day, and I'm glad I kept them safe. I did find some key stuff. There's some books right now off to PGX to get graded that I bought that same day. One of them is Iron Fist number 14, first appearance of Sabretooth. One of them is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire number 1. So I did, manage to pull some good stuff, but I also managed to pull Western Ghost Rider. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There wasn't really so much of a grander point other than just showing these books. And I hope people love comics like I love comics. So just seeing stuff that maybe you've never seen before is worth your time. Thank you again to my 50 amazing, wonderful subscribers. I hope you guys hit the thumbs up button, hit that like. I do have some mega key issues coming back from PGX somewhere definitely in the next 2 weeks. Easter's probably going to slow up the mail system a little bit, but they're coming. And I hope you guys stay tuned to the Krakens Lair comics, and I will leave you with Ghost Rider number 1. Thank you everybody for watching. Enjoy comic books. Enjoy comic book collecting. I'll see you guys soon.